Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be recommending some of the best handbag brands in the premium core. Premium core is one of the levels of luxury. In the video attached above, I talked you through all the different levels of luxury. At the bottom, you have your everyday luxury brands, and then right at the top end of the pyramid, you have your bespoke brands. As you go up the pyramid, so does the price and the quality of the products or services, but also the quantity of products that are produced or services decrease. Premium core that I'm going to be focused on in this video is nestled right in the middle of the pyramid. So it's your brands that produce bags that are typically priced between £1,500 and £3,000. I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I produce educational content geared towards people who are typically new to money or keen to explore alternate mid-lux or super brands that are a little under the radar but still heavily weighted on quality. I have a total of 16 brands I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to split them in half, do the first 8 in this video, then the second 8 in a later video, which will be part 2. What I will do in this video is talk about the first brand on its own. That's because it's the only brand that doesn't have a particular range, which is their most popular, most iconic, their bestseller, whatever you want to call it. They don't have it. But I really wanted to get it on your radar because of its quality. The remaining 7, and as I'll do with all subsequent videos, is talk about them in price order. So from the cheapest going through to the most expensive. And to keep it consistent throughout all my videos, I will use the example from each brand of a medium-sized black and leather bag, whichever one is its bestseller. My first brand is an eponymously named American brand. It's Tom Ford. And Tom Ford is very similar to another brand I mentioned in part 2 of the hierarchy of handbags, specifically affordable luxury. It's an Italian brand called Miu Miu. Miu Miu and Tom Ford don't have a distinct range that's their front runner in terms of being a bestseller or the most iconic. And the danger of something like that is your bags don't typically hold their value. They don't make for good investments because there isn't a range that buyers can relate to, and therefore they flock that brand for that particular bag and then hold on to it and sell it on later, or when the value is appreciated and it's a lot more in demand, maybe it was a limited edition. You don't have that with Tom Ford or Miu Miu, but with Tom Ford specifically, it would have been wrong of me to have missed them out of this selection because the quality of the leathers that they use is amazing, coupled with the craftsmanship. And the interesting thing about Tom Ford is that they have the characteristic, they're very well known for their zips, thick, chunky silver or gold zips. And you'll see them, for example, in their clothes. And the zip will run all the way from the bottom of your neck, the nape of your neck, all the way down to the hem, or zigzag across the dress. But it's a big, thick, chunky, heavy zip. And you see that theme carried through into their bags, for example. So you'll have a bag with the zip all the way down the side or the middle or wherever it may be. And you know it's a Tom Ford bag. They have the gold, the T logo as well. So you're able to tell it's Tom Ford. But you're buying Tom for the quality. With all the brands that I'm going to be talking about in premium core and above, people say, oh, just because something is expensive or it's designer doesn't mean it's good quality. But with brands in this segment, it is. There are so many brands I can pinpoint specifically and say you will never have a problem with this brand. Their bags are bulletproof. The quality of their leather is exceptional. The craftsmanship is just amazing. And that's what you typically get. That's what you're paying for. And in this segment, like I mentioned in the luxury video, which I attached above, you are paying for a quality product, a product that is very, very well made in terms of the craftsmanship. Premium core purchases are dictated by quality first, then price. Brands in this segment are very much price makers. So you as the consumer just have to pay the price that's dictated because you want that product. You're paying for assured quality. Tom Ford bags typically start at about $1,650 and above. That's what I typically budget. Totes are going to be cheaper, but for your handbags, $1,650 and above. My next brand is an Italian brand that's known and very much loved for its color. It's Dolce & Gabbana. And in particular, the Miss Sisley range. It is their most iconic best-selling range, which has been in production since 2009 when it was first designed. And over the years, it's just continued to be a best-selling range for Dolce & Gabbana. It's a stylish, structured bag that comes in a number of different sizes. It's incredibly durable, and it's all about the color, whether it is a floral print, polka dot, your bright patterns or prints. It's all about the color. The black leather medium size retails for under the £1,500 threshold. But most of the bags are very much about the color. They are made literally as wearable pieces of artwork, and they will make the most flamboyant, spectacular designs to commemorate special occasions, limited edition bags, or just a range that's just incredibly colorful and show-stopping. That is what Dolce & Gabbana, and in particular Miss Sisley, is known for. So although entry price is $1,200, which is well below the $1,500, you typically can pay double, if not triple, that price for one of their more detailed bags. And they can come either in leather, in canvas, in silicone, in woven raffia or wool. Depends entirely on the material, but they have been known to put together some of the most spectacular handbags you'll ever find. My next brand is a French brand I first mentioned in my video where I was speaking about brands that are loved by the rich. I'll attach that video above. And it's Alaïa, eponymously named after Azzedine Alaïa. He was known as the King of Cling, and he started off producing clothes, fitted dresses that celebrated the female form. And then he extended his range to include bags and shoes. And his items, or his brand, is very well known for the perforated look, the Vienne Séculaire pattern, which he has on his dresses, on his shoes, and his bags. He doesn't advertise, he doesn't loan clothes to celebrities. They pay for their Alaïa items. And together with a number of other brands that I mentioned in that video, Loro Piano, Brunello Cucinelli, there's the Row, there's also Giambattista, which weren't in that video, but these are brands that unapologetically cater for the super wealthy. They are assured quality. Their products are faultless in terms of the quality. The material they use, the construction, the designs, they're absolutely exquisite. And the price literally prices the rest of the consumers, the masses, out of buying that brand. So the rich end up with a brand that's exclusive to them because only they can afford it, but they're paying for the quality, the heritage of the brand, the prestige associated with that. And Alaïa more than delivers. The perforated look, the Vienne Séculaire that I mentioned, is on all his products. He has variations of that on there. And looking specifically at his bags, he doesn't have a particular style that's best selling, but he has a number of ranges that are very well known, synonymous with his brand. Firstly, the corset bag, which has the Vienne Séculaire on the edge. But the one I'd really like to get on your radar, and it's his most popular, when anyone talks about an Alaïa bag, it's the Mina tote. And it's the Mina laser cut tote, the black in medium, and it's priced at £1,710. I like it for its simplicity, but more so the Vienne Séculaire. It's a beautiful standout pattern that you know, and whenever you see this bag, it's like you see it and you're just like, oh, it's the Alaïa bag. That person can afford it. It says so much. It speaks volumes. But it's a beautiful tote. You can dress up, you can dress down, and you can get away with wearing it to more functions than you would a tote, purely because of the design and the brand. My next brand is an Italian eponymously named brand, Valentino. And Valentino is quintessentially ladylike. Silhouettes are very classic, and I remember Vogue distinctly describing Valentino as clothes for a woman in her 30s and beyond. And that's because you need the stature, you need the presence, you need the confidence to be able to carry them off. And that also translates to their bags and to their shoes. And the particular range, or there are two ranges actually, the V-ring, But I want to zone in on the other one, the Rock Stud. And the Rock Stud has proven to be an incredibly successful range for Valentino. They started off with the shoes, and as the shoes grew in popularity and they introduced different style options to the Rock Stud shoes, they then introduced the handbags. There are many different variations of the Rock Stud. You can get your handbags, crossbodies, clutches, totes, and in particular I would like to highlight the tote. A great starting point, depending on the size. It works well out and about, work bag, a bag if you have young children to carry your bits. Medium sized black Rock Stud tote, £1,800. The Rock Studs just add the glamour to an outfit for somebody who's mature, who just wants something that is very well appointed and just does the trick without too much fuss. My next brand is yet another Italian brand. It's Bvlgari. And Bvlgari is very similar to Loewe, which I mentioned in part 1 of Affordable Luxury. I'll attach that video above. And it's also similar to Bali, a Swiss brand that I mentioned in part 2 of Affordable Luxury. I'll attach both those videos above. Those 3 brands operate very much under the radar, but they are heavily weighted on quality in terms of the quality, the very high quality of the leather they use, and the exquisite craftsmanship. As I said in the previous videos, I'm shocked as to why they're not a lot more expensive considering what you get, but they're amazing brands, all 3, for you to get on your radar. Looking specifically at the Bvlgari, they have just one range. It's called Serpenti Forever. It's one style. It's a structured bag that comes in 6 different variations. So you get different shapes, different colors, different sizes, different skins, either your leather or exotic skins. And it also comes with a beautiful thin snake-like chain that goes with the bag, and then every bag has the snake's head as a clasp. So either the basic, the standard enamel, or it's a jeweled Serpenti head. The range is Serpenti Forever. So the little Serpenti can be jeweled, whether with diamonds, with rubies, with sapphires, whatever precious stones you would like on that. In the last couple of years, they've introduced a softer version of the bag. It's still structured, but it comes with soft calf's leather and a thicker strap. In terms of price, your medium black Serpenti Forever is $1,810. My next brand is an eponymously named British brand. It's Alexander McQueen. But when you think of Alexander McQueen bags, what typically comes to mind for most people, I would imagine, is their 4-ring clutches. They are so distinct, very much associated with the brand. They have the 4 rings, which are typically ornate. So they come either with the stones on top, a pave setting, a skull, something that just adds to the edgy look. And the case of the bag can either be a hard metal, it can be crystals, it can be leather, it can be embedded stones. You're spoiled for choice. It really stands out and it makes for a show-stopping clutch. But what I actually want to zone in on is a new bag which they introduced in the last couple of years. It's called the Story bag. It's an everyday bag, comes in one size, but it's a very sleek, very simple bag in terms of the design and also the style of the bag. It has minimal branding, and then it has the jewelry-inspired handle. The black version, one size as I mentioned, is priced at £1,850. 7th brand, surprise, surprise, is yet another Italian brand, but this is a brand extraordinaire. It's Valextra, and Valextra is arguably, to me, the finest Italian brand. If it was down to me and it wasn't about the price, I would actually have Valextra in the next category up. So your super premium, £3,000 to £5,000, because the bags have the look and feel of a super premium bag. They're on a whole different level. And the brand itself, Valextra, put a lot of emphasis on championing the very high quality leathers that they use, coupled with the very simple, sleek designs. And ever since they started the brand, 1937, they have never put any branding on their bags. It's all about the architectural aesthetic. It's simple, it's sleek. The quality, the craftsmanship does all the speaking. The particular range I'd like to recommend is their best-selling Aiside. Aiside, priced at 2,400, is a very simple, feminine, elegant design, perfect as an everyday bag. It has the top handle option for you to just carry out and about, or if you want your hands free, it has the crossbody option for you to use. But in terms of a bag that is heavily weighted on quality, that's the epitome of craftsmanship and quality, look no further than Valextra. My last brand recommendation, but just for this segment, is an American brand called The Row. And The Row was started about 15 years ago. And in the 15 years that it's been in existence, it has gained such notoriety as one of the best brands when it comes to just good quality basics. I would put The Row very comfortably in the same league, the same level as Alaïa, Brunello Cucinelli, Loro Piana. They don't advertise, they don't put labeling in their products. Their products are spread through word of mouth, and of course the quality speaks for itself. It's the best advertisement any brand could ever ask for. And they're very well known for their basics and a neutral color palette, and they cater for all sizes, so they're not hung up on, for example, the size zeros, the smaller frame. It's all sizes. I would like to focus on one bag, their best selling, but it comes in two different sizes, so I was torn as to which one constituted or was the best medium option. It's the Margot 15 bag, which is a smaller version. It's, to me, a very easy everyday bag that would typically fit the bits you take around on a daily basis. But then there's also the Margot 17 bag, which is a little bigger if you need to carry a laptop, some files, maybe a weekend bag, carry some extra bits for the day, than the Margot 17 bag. The 15 bag is priced at $3,075, and the 17 is about £3,500. But I'd also like to throw into that one of their totes, a very popular tote, the Park tote, starts at about £1,500 and goes up to about £2,000, depending on the style of the Park tote. There are a couple of variations to it, but in terms of a phenomenal quality brand for your basics, you don't really need to look further than The Row. But do subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be talking about The Row and other brands very similar, slightly lower in terms of price point during the coming months. So I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. But I have given you 8 different brands, and between those brands, I feel comfortable in terms of catering for a good selection of styles in the market, being able to comfortably cater for them. All these brands, as I mentioned, going forward, so premium core, super premium, are going to be very much focused on quality. You're buying bags that are very well made. You're in good company, whichever brand you go for. Do stay tuned for part 2 in the coming weeks, but do share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.